Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce. Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce. Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yes, greetings and salutation. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Man's man. Wow, what a day it has been. We have just completed our NFL show and now we are back in our Legends Corner where we will be doing a live interview with Dean Sewell. Dean Sewell is a former reggae boy who played for Constant Spring um, for several seasons. Went to the finals of the local Premier League with Constant Spring. Yes, they lost in that finals to Reno. I mean, I think even today they have a lot of regrets because they believe that the goal that was scored against them was not a fair goal, and they never went back to that place. So yeah, so we will be having him joining us in a few. So looking forward to your company. I want to thank like all of you who were tuned in to our show on the NFL that we just completed. And so this is going to be a big one, a strong one, a better one. And so again, glad for having you, happy for having you. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. This is I Am Sure Sports. So again, thanks to all our subscribers. We're over just a little above 1,600 subscribers. And so we need you to continue to subscribe to the platform. You know, like the videos, share the content. That is how you support the channel. And if you can support the channel that way, then our reach will go further and wider, right? So please, once you come on, you hit that like button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We need your support because it's one work. You know, we're a unified force in this. You know, changing the sporting landscape in terms of media right across Jamaica, the Caribbean, in North America, Central America, and in some places in Europe. Again, want to say a big thank you to everyone who is tuned in at this time. Really appreciate all the support. Yeah, what's happening in the world of sport before we bring on Mr. Dean Sewell? Let me just share with you. I don't know if you would have heard from I think Sophia Harris. Sophia Harris is someone who the JFF had as part of their plans to come on and be involved in the marketing, which I think is a very good move. But I was a little bit taken aback because when I listened to the interview and I read up on a couple of stuff, I realized that Miss Harris had recently stepped away from the same marketing position at the JFF. And I don't think she had made any significant impact while she was in the position. So for me, it was a little bit strange that she would have, come back into the position. And then she's coming back into the position as a consultant. I don't think we need a consultant. I think we need someone who is going to do the legwork. Legwork needs to be done. So I don't believe it is the best of choices. And based on what I'm hearing, it looked like the search for a marketing person is still ongoing, that they have not come to any final decision on this whole idea of having Miss Sophia Clark. But because it doesn't make any sense, why would you need a consultant at this time? You need more than that. You don't need a consultant. You need someone who is actually going to do legwork to market the product, to market the football, and to bring much needed funds into the football. And if I were in a position of influence, I would direct the JFF to I mean, we just had a major graduation at UE and at UTech from our colleges. Find some young person up there and give them the opportunity to function in this capacity with some guidance. And I think you probably will get more out of them. Believe me, I believe so. I believe that should be the approach. Find somebody who is at our colleges, just graduated, get them in there with an experienced person and let them learn on the job. I mean, we need some youth in the football. We need some younger heads in the administrative aspect of the football. And so yeah, so let's try that, JFF. Like I said, if I were in a position of influence, that is what I would do. That is what I would do. I would get one of the young persons from either the University of Technology or the University of the West Indies, and give them some years and invest in them to get the best out of them, instead of going back to someone who left the job in 2020. That's less than a year. I mean, it's not like we were having some superb marketing during that time or major sponsorship at that time, uh, right? Rob Simit, let me say this. I don't think this new person is going to be in the job, to be honest. I don't think so. I think when you listen to that interview, it wouldn't make sense to put her in the job, in my opinion. Listen to the interview again, Rob Simit. Because she's not coming in again to do legwork. She said that she's coming in as a consultant. A consultant. A consultant, in my opinion, is somebody who gives you the ideas. Listen, if it is ideas the GFF want, I have many. I have many ideas. And I can tell you how to get them done. Many other people out there have these things. So my point is, it has to go beyond somebody just coming up with ideas. It has to get to the point and to the place. It has to get to the point and the place where the person is actually doing some legwork. She left the job in 2020. We are in 2021. She left the job in 2020. What were we doing in 2020 in terms of marketing? What were we doing in 2019? And I'm not like against Miss Sophie. I've never met the person, but I'm just thinking it doesn't make sense. Why not get a young, fresh mind coming out of university, seeking a job, wanting to prove themselves? Get a couple of them, employ them. I'm very sure the salary will be less, and just get one experienced marketing person to sit above them as a manager, to kind of work with them. We need to engage some young people in the process. So that is my thought. Like I said, it's not anything personal. And not anything personal against her. I just don't think if somebody was up on the job until 2020, good leaders leave a legacy. And so we had somebody who came in and replaced her, and nothing was done. What blueprint was left? Is it that she left a blueprint that has not been followed? And if she left a blueprint, why then don't you get younger people to come in and operate based on the blueprint that she left? We don't need that. She has her own company. What we can do is every now and then we call her and say, hey, this is what I'm saying. And she volunteers her service. But I don't think this should be, in my humble opinion, of course. I could be missing some of the facts. But I don't think this is going to work out. Honestly, I think it was a good thing to have them on the media talking and all of that. I heard all the fluff and all of those things. But I don't think it makes any practical sense, seeing that the person had just left the position. So is there really a marketing person there? I don't think so. I think there are many young persons out there right now that can come up with enough innovative ideas to market the product. The thing is that we may not have a marketable federation, but we have enough marketable players that can pull in well needed resources into the football at this time. At this time. Again, thank you for joining. You know the drill. Once you come on, please hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. Please hit the like button. You have to hit the like button. That's how you support the channel. You hit the like button, you hit the like button, you share the stream, you tell somebody about us. Yeah. So go ahead and do that. Don't let me have to be asking you. Don't let me have to be stopping the big interview you're going to have with Dean Sewell to tell you to hit the like button. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. All right. So let me give you some update as to what is going to be happening and I am sure sport for this week. All right. So coming up tomorrow, if you are from West Kingston, you know Roderick Reed, we're gonna have him on. And then on Friday, we're gonna have Lenny Hyde. But you know, we have our special guest. This is a person that growing up at Cadstad Spring and watching him play, always wanted to play like him. The fact listen, believe me, people, I don't think there is a better right back ever in Jamaica. I don't know how he wasn't playing in the World Cup over a particular Chelsea player, and I will not call that Chelsea player's name. I will allow I will allow him to. But that Chelsea player should not be playing over this baller. I am telling you. You understand me? That Chelsea player is not of that quality. So without any further ado, and listen, all of you Constant Spring people out there, Trevor Lamb, who watching and Marlon Jackson and Sixy and Nuni and all of you guys, Ajay, all of you guys, Skilo Lee, all of you, you need to tune in and listen. And anything Mr. Sewell says, that no go so. You need to type it in and say, I know so it go. Him never good. You understand me? But without any further ado, let me invite him. Mr. Dean Sewell, you're muted. You look like you mute yourself over there. Yeah.
All right, copy.
Yeah, yeah, man. You're good now. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Good.
Listen, in the Constant Spring group, somebody said something, and I'm wondering if it is true now before we get into the interview. They said that you should have taken off all of those gold chain that you were wearing. And you should not have been wearing them, and you should not have been driving such a nice car at that time, and maybe you'd have been playing.
I can understand that. One job is to perform on the field. So if it was deficient outside of football and that, I think.
Okay. All right. So, well, welcome to the show, and I'm so delighted that you're here. So, as usual, I want to ask you what we ask all the person we interview, just to tell us about your history in football. When did you start? You know, if it's from basic school, primary school, where that was, how you got into high school football, what you accomplished, all the way up to Constant Spring and the national team. And you can take all the time that you want. And if there's anything we need clarity on, I will probably ask. I see a Constant Spring supporter here asking where is bigger Sewell, but you don't have to answer that right now.
That's really a long one, but let me see. I first started out at primary school, but there was no what do you call it, competitive or structured thing. But I started there first. I started in goal because I couldn't get on the field.
Oh,
Yeah, so I actually started in goal just to be on the field. That's one of the things I try to most of the kids do. The first job is to try to be on the field. So whatever, money I can, just use it and try to build from there. Then my first competitive or structured football was what we call it, linesman and referee was by a club, Portsmouth Juvenile Youth Club in Portmore. I know everybody from Jamaica. We play street football, used to play with the bigger men, me and myself. Myself and Cleveland Blake. Used to, they used to allow us to play with them. And he was the first one that actually took me outside of Portmore to go and play. Which, you know, that would have been corner league. You play a corner league everywhere. Right? I went to, I passed to Calabar. I played Pepsi at Calabar. I played 1 year of course at Calabar. Then I left for that. Under 16, I played for Crossroads in the President's Cup. I played for Crossroads. That was my first year playing U16 and outside of Pepsi. That was my first year playing some construct football outside of Portmore. Then I went to Union Garden, myself, Walter Boyd, and a few other players, Cleveland Blake, played at Union Garden in the minor league. As explained to you, I left Calabar for Stats, so
Right.
at 3 years a month at Stats.
How did you do at Stats? How far did that team go, and who were some of the players on the Stats team that you were on?
Well, I started playing the year after they won the Manning Cup. So you'd
Okay.
have Scooby, that's Johnson, you had Ricky Villa, you had Louis McDermott, you had Leighton. You know, we did fairly okay, to be honest. We didn't fulfill our true potential. We
Okay.
were
Oh, you
coaching.
actually started playing after they won the Manning Cup, so you weren't a part of the Manning Cup. Oh,
My brother, that's the person that they asked, Badasu. He
Badasu,
played
right? Badasu. Yeah.
he played on the winning man Cup team. He was
Okay.
also on the team that I started playing at. I think he played 1 or 2 years before he left.
Okay.
So we had a fairly decent team. We were coached by Daniel Rose my first year, and the second and third year by Coach Charles Edwards, which was what now got me to Constant Spring. And to be honest, the team of choice really was Arnett Garden. But because of because the coach had coached me at Union Garden, right? He was also the coach at Wayne Fair Club. Brilliant coach.
Okay.
Wayne Fair
Yeah.
was coaching Arnett Garden at the time. So that was my choice for Premier League. But then I heard if you got the Arnett Garden, you're not going to play because of niggas and blah, blah. So I said, all right, you know what happened? Charlie said, okay, come to Constant Spring. And then it was easier because it was like the same system of play, the same philosophy of play that Charlie had at St. Andrew Technical was being played at Constant Spring. So
Constant
the
Spring.
transition has been easier. But first, I must say, like every structured league I've played in, with every team, there has been a philosophy of play, a way of play that you can identify easily. At Union Garden, we had that. At St. Andrew Technical under Donald Rose, we had that. St. Andrew Technical under Charles Edwards, we had that. At Constant Spring under
Donnelly.
Daniel,
Yeah.
we had the same. We had the same thing. So
And your bigger brother was a part of the coaching staff as well.
yes,
But yeah, he
I,
came on.
I played U16 for Jamaica. I played U18. I was in one of the U23 teams before I transitioned to the senior team. So that's like a broad base. I played college, New Hampshire College. Played a few years there.
Okay,
Uh,
that's right. So when you left Stats, you went to Constant Spring, and during that time you went overseas, and then you came back to Constant Spring after.
while I was there, I would have been back to play. So that was really the basic structure.
Okay.
I did play for Charleston Battery. That's
Okay.
in the A-League.
All right. So tell us about that Constant Spring team, because I mean but how good was that team? How good was the philosophy at Constant Spring? Some of the players who was there. I mean, how far did you go in the local leagues? And yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Look at your feet and look at your feet up on this. You don't see? All right, look at my jacket right here. Sit up on the bed, see.
All right. Ready again?
Yeah, go again.
Right. So I'm asking you, just tell us a little bit about the Constant Spring experience. Who were some of the players? How well did you do? How far did Constant Spring go during that time? Because I mean, I can tell the story because I was there. But why don't you share with the people?
There are some of the time the players can't, you know that, right?
Ah,
I don't
I didn't hear that.
some of the players can't. Well, what I know, we won the Major League, we won the Jackie Bell. We went to the finals of the Premier League, got beaten by Reno 3-1 on aggregate. We won the A League after we got relegated in 1994, I believe. 1990, we won Premier League. We went to the finals of Premier League in 1995. Right, 1995. Then we got relegated in 1996 or 1996, I believe. And
I
then
think it was a year after you win. I thought it was 2 seasons after you went to the.
A year or two after. I'm not.
I think it was 2 years after.
Don't hold me responsible on the exact time frame.
Yeah.
And then we got back up into. We went down to the A League. Then we got back up into the Premier League.
Premier League.
After,
yeah.
We just spent like 1 year out of the Premier League. Then we re-qualified back for the Premier League.
Okay. All right. So, who were some of the players there? I mean, at Constant Spring, in your early days and in your latter days, some of the good players. Was everybody good? Or you have to call everybody name because I don't want to leave out anybody name and get yourself in trouble. But who were some of the better players?
Well, at the club, you can identify who you believe are the better players, but all in all, the players were playing in a system, so the players were playing to their strength and their understanding. So we had like Ruben, we had like the Gobler twins, we had like Martin Batts, Jordan, Goods, Christopher Lewis, we had Chaffee, what's his last name?
Lucky C. Williams.
No, that was in the later years.
You're right.
You have Lincoln Taft, you have Trevor Lamb,
O'Neill Chippy McDonald.
You have Buck.
Yeah,
everyone knows.
Buck passed away.
Yeah, may so rest in peace.
Moses
Davis, Patrick Reed,
Marvin Chin.
Marvin Chin was a goalkeeper before. Marvin Chin was a goalkeeper by the name of Daswell.
Fabian Watkins.
You had Blackin, you had Fatai. I'm talking about when I just got in.
Early, right, when you just got in.
Yeah. Then moving a little forward, then you had Richie Ipo, then you had Fabian, you had Bam Bam, Ajay, Lucky
Bumpy was there. Ryan Nelson was there at one before he went to Portmore.
Was there.
And Skillo was there. O'Neill Morrison was there as well at one point.
Like maybe in my last year or two.
Yeah.
60 was playing, he's still playing to this day, not giving it up.
There's a next player that also died, Oh geez. Was a midfielder. Don't forget his name, but he was a car. He used to give some trouble. I think but I don't remember. But then you also have a guy called Waim Walker Dirt. He was there at one.
Dirt. Yeah. We had I can't remember some of them. Right off the top. No. I know the group of a whole lot of them. From way back, come forward.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, man. So you said there was a philosophy at Constant Spring. I mean, and that is so true because I remember, like, even when the younger teams were training, I'd always hear Danielin saying that, listen, when you get the ball as a wing back, you dribble inside. Like that was like in your mind, you don't go down the flank, you don't pass it, you always go inside, always go in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's certain basic movements that he requires, but then you have to implement your physical attributes to the game. Right? Yeah. So, for example, I'm always giving the space outside to flow.
Yeah.
But I know I can float because my midfield, which at the time was chassis, would fill back.
Yeah.
Or someone moves outside. We can tell. And this was similar with the 1998 team. You can tell who is out of position depending on where the ball is and where that player is. And because of it is much easier for a rotation, defensive rotation to be completed or an offensive movement to be executed.
Yeah.
Because you know from practice, day in and day out, who should, okay, Theodore should be there, but he's out of position. So instead of I let Theodore run, say, 30 yards, I could run 15 and he run 15.
15.
Depends
Okay.
on where we are because we know exactly who should be where under certain circumstances and depending on where the ball position is.
Yeah. Somebody is saying that how we not call Jack in the box. Marlon.
You called him earlier.
Yeah. Okay, so that is interesting. So
On Sunday as well.
uh,
On Sunday as well. So all of those young guys, were a part of
okay.
the entire program.
Yeah, man. All right. So the other question is, what was it like because you transitioned into the national team? So what was that like for you? What was the national team like? You were part of some very successful teams in the early 90s, all the way up to the 1998 World Cup campaign. Just share with us a little bit of that, and some of the things that worked, and then I want you to probably transition in like what is happening with the football now, because I tell you what a lot of people say, Dean, if you guys were so good, why none of you were playing in England? Why none of you were playing in this place? If you're Because when I tell people that you're one of the best right back, they say, "Oh, if he was that good, why wasn't he in England? Why wasn't he here? Why wasn't he there?" And all of that. So, talk to us about the football in those days and some of the factors that would prevent those things from happening.
Okay, there's a certain amount of factors. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt. That argument is always going to be out there. That is the first thing. Remember, we have people who you consider what now? Captive of time. So they are in the now and they live in the now. They can only see the now.
Yeah.
You have 98, how far ago was that?
23 years.
22 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Add another 4, 5, 6 years to that. That would have been how many of the people who is making those statements is practically that old,
Yeah. Yeah, that is
How
true.
many people know that Hector Wright was probably one of the best midfielders Jamaica produced? How many of them know about Winston Finnebon Adwin? How many of them know about Donald Hewitt, about Michael Graham, about even our captain then, Warren Barrett was coming from way back 93, 94. You
Yeah.
understand? So they're not going to know that. So their judgment is what they see and understand now. And there has to be a gate opener for people to go through the gate. There has to be
Yeah.
pioneers. Like there were people before me. Barrington Gaynor opened the way for me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I opened the way for someone else. You might have not have been at the highest level of professionalism, but there is a gate opener. One of the best youth midfielders I know was Dennis Ebanks and Fitzroy Jackson. They don't have those players. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. But circumstances, some got injured, some got messed up through the system, whatever it is. Right? They don't know that. They don't know about the times of Ali Rose, the Georges versus JC and players at 16 breaking into the senior team, 17 breaking into the senior team. They don't know about the first professional football across the Caribbean. Okay, so they don't know about Wayne Palmer. So
Yeah.
they're playing. So players back then had the quality, but again, they were invisible. We never played as much international games to be seen, to be probably selected. There's a lot of factors to it.
Okay. Yeah, because and that is true. There are so many factors, so many reasons why at that time, and a lot of I don't know if people were recruiting Caribbean persons in those times heavily to play in other places in Europe. And that was part of it, because I know, based on what I've seen, that many of you guys had the potential and the quality to play in Europe. But they weren't looking to the Caribbean for people.
But remember, we had Peter Cargill that played in Israel. Yeah. We had Altiman Butler that played in Portugal, played in the MLS.
Yes, yeah.
We had
Hector Wright played in Finland.
In Finland, so it's not like the quality. It's just that it's a broad view now, right? Because the gate has been open to our success after '98 World Cup. It's just like young athletes never used to get athletic, merchandising contract. Now, because of the success of the sprint team, the track team, now they come to Jamaica to seek young athletes. Yeah. Most of the better players back in our time, the route out was a scholarship.
Okay.
That was really the route out, a scholarship. Now it's more transition towards professional.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So that 1998 team, I mean, I've heard stories of how difficult it was in the early stages. Let me go back from like 1991 for the Shell Cup and Gold Cup. How, I mean, just like accommodation, payment, food, gears, all of those things, like how difficult those things were, but you guys still had a level of success. And people are saying, in comparison to these days, these guys have so much. I mean, the salary now is I think around 2,500 US per game. In those days, you were getting, Linval Wilson said it recently, that he was getting $250 a week. And I mean, but you go ahead.
We have to ask ourselves, who paved the way for that?
Yeah.
Remember, let's go to golf. Before Tiger Woods, there's the money that players demanded, right? Once Tiger Woods broke through, different. Michael Jordan, same thing. When he was playing, if you check his days back, he was getting maybe like 6-7 million. Now players getting what? 40-50 million. Yeah. There has to be someone that is going to be the lower earner at the beginning, and once the sport is grows beyond it, where it can be old, right? Then the salary is going to go up. Viewership now is way more, so your salary is going to be way more. But it's the product that's being paid for is giving the people what they want.
Yeah.
Or they're a reflection of their pay scale.
Yeah.
Then that you can argue with. Yeah. Players is going to change. They have better equipment now. Remember when you're growing up, when we were growing up, we never had so much certified coaches. We never had a technical staff. We never had companies doing sponsorship. Most of the clubs that played, how did they make their money? We never had gate receipts. You just went to games around the field. No. You have what? You have to pay to enter the facility. Again, that is a transition from where you were to where we are now. So obviously the salary structure is going to be way different. You can't go by that. Right? When I started playing at the U16, our camp was GC Foster.
Okay.
When I started playing in the U18, our camp was a stadium facility.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and move forward to the senior team, and this was after Simoes got there.
Right.
We had a home of our own. Come forward now, we have the place of excellence.
Yeah.
So there's a transition period in which we have to look at.
Yeah. Who are some of the better wing backs you came up against, or wingers in that time? I mean, our forwards that, like, man, it was a challenge playing against this attacking player because they were so good, or it was a challenge getting past this particular defender because they were so good.
At what? At
At
the
the Premier
international.
League. No, at the Premier League level. Let me just jump back to that. I mean, while you're at Constant Spring, who are somebody? I know you never had any fear, but you know when you see this particular forward, you know that this is going to be a challenging game because they're always at the top of their game, and which
Because I play, I don't really worry about that as much. But some of the forward strikers that you're gonna have some level of concern about would have been Fabian Taylor in the latter years. It would have been Michael Graham. It would have been Ron Nelson. It would have been uh, Devon Jarrett.
oh
Um,
yes, from what I know.
right. There was a lot of players. Um, Ted Roy Jones,
Oh,
from
from Reno. Did he ever go up against Roderick Reed?
Roderick Reed also, little very witty with the ball.
Okay.
So there are a lot of players. I mean, cannot call the names right off the top of my head right now, but over time, you know, there's a lot of players.
Okay. All right. So, and what is your take now on the present Reggae Boys team? I mean, you are with more. Listen, like I don't know who told me this, but someone said one of the veterans told me that Whitmore was the kind of player that I mean he's always in his room, never talked a lot, but on the training ground he works hard. He was a hard. He trains very very hard. You know.
But the Caesar is due to Caesar. And he was really that guy. He was actually an introvert.
Yeah.
But on the field, training, he was always present. He was probably one of the fitter players along with Messam um, in,
Okay.
in, in that team. So there is no lack of running if needed.
Okay, so what do you make of the present team? I mean, you like I said, you guys kind of paved a way, and here it is that like it seemed like our football, like has it really gone forward? You hear so many administrative things. You hear of the issues with coaching, the players and the influx of players from here, and there's a sentiment out there that the older players like the past players don't appreciate the influx of overseas or English based players coming into the team. Some
But
have said, listen,
I don't think that's a fair statement to make. First, we have to address most of what's happening in the federation, right?
yeah.
The federation has a responsibility to provide the best possible players. The coach has a responsibility to scout for the best possible players. The coach has a responsibility to put the players in their best position to be successful or give the team a chance to be successful. Whatever the complement of player he has, that's his decision to make who he wants to play with. It's his decision to make to scout a player that he believes suits what he wants to play, his system of play, the way he wants to play, his philosophy. It's not every good player is going to fit that philosophy. And we have to be honest with ourselves. It's the same way as a supporter. You support your Premier League team and you can identify, okay, that player not going to fit my system. As good as he may be.
Yeah.
Grealish is not the best player for Manchester City.
City. Yeah.
He was a big fish in a small pond where he was when he you know what man, he's a fish in a huge fish bowl.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have to look at it in its whole entire context, right? We can't just go for players. Is here. Remember, we don't have time to put the team together. We are suffering from continuation, and that's been a epidemic since 1998. Remember, and I don't know if the players alluded to this. The Moors went everywhere inside. You have to have a base, and
Yeah.
then you find the fitting pieces,
Yeah.
right? That's part of the coach's responsibility. That is part of the federation responsibility. The coach must ask the federation for the players that he wants, not them giving him who they want, no matter how great they are. Right? Let's not remember you don't have to live in Jamaica to have Jamaica at heart, because you have people in Jamaica who do have Jamaica at heart. But
yep, that is true.
The football is not being run by people that have the best interest of the football at hand.
Yeah.
And that's where our prime is. The coach an issue? Absolutely. But is the coach alone to be blamed? No. Are the players an issue? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the federation, it is the coach, it is the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just talking about from what I see.
Yeah.
Right? You have players out there who is not putting the team first, in my estimation.
Okay.
Right? And in order to be successful, remember, you're an individual in a team. You have a role to play in the team. If you do your job efficiently and effectively, hey, you can achieve what you want to achieve. The difference with, I'm not going to point out this team. Remember, after 98, you had the 2000, you had the 2002, the 2006, 2010. What has been the continuation of what we have seen to this day?
Yeah.
Let's go back to what your previous therapy, or you said the words out there say. Let's go back. We have better players, more professional players, right?
Yeah.
But we're like amateurs. Tell me how does that make sense?
Yeah, that is such a valid point. That right now we have better players, better everything, but we look like, yeah.
Let's give all the people what they want or believe in what they say. We have better players. We have most of our players playing professional somewhere in Europe, in Asia, in America. Most of the players, right?
Yeah.
But you're not getting, and that has been consistent since 98 because
yeah.
From, I'm not going to use the word committed. We use away from players inside the system, knowing a system of play, knowing a philosophy of play, to starting to do patchwork.
Okay.
Let me give you a reference. In 1993, we're gonna play Costa Rica in the stadium. I've never played midfield before. Never. And Carl Brown just said, he named the starting team Center Dean. You're going central midfield. Hey, my eyes opened up like this.
Yes.
Okay, you know what I did? I said to myself, who is going to play today is the Dean body, but the Lincoln Taft play.
Yes.
So I insulate myself mentally that I am Lincoln Taft. So whatever I think Lincoln Taft would have done, his movement, his ball touch, his ball possession, that's what I did. And I became a center midfield in the national team.
Whoa. Yeah.
But again, we were playing with players that understand each other again, because if you either play with them or you compete against them. That team would have been Hector Wright. It would have been Winston Anglin. It would have been Anthony Corbett. It would have been Desmond Smith. It would have been Linval Dixon. You see where it is now? It would have been Roger Creed, I Fidel Hamilton. So it's not that you even play, but you have seen them so many times. You know their strengths and their weaknesses.
Right. And that is why you're saying the core and the base is important.
It's important. You must know. It is very important for you to know and understand each other as a player. Their likes and their dislikes. how they want the ball. And if you don't know, when you go into a new system or in a new team, what is the first thing? To this day, if I'm playing some structured football, I might not know the guy name. Name? Okay, oh, you like the ball. I like it. There's some things you have to find out.
Yes.
So when you put a team on the field, let's use the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup should be a building block going towards the qualifier. Our best game in the Gold Cup was which game?
I think to me the best game was the game against the USA that we lost.
No, our best game in the Gold Cup
was the Costa
Rica game.
Costa Rica game, yeah. Costa Rica.
Even though we lost the game, that was something to build on.
Yeah.
We played through the line. We go back to the USA game. We go back to the USA game and we went back to what we were doing in the previous two games.
That is true. Yeah, the Costa Rica game was the best game, yeah.
Right, so you have to know what your eye is telling you. It's not the name. Okay. So you didn't get anything outside of the Gold Cup. And I'm gonna be honest, this was my take. If we win the Gold Cup, because the teams have the Gold Cup as a benchmark, if we win the Gold Cup, Theodore should stay on. Right? If we lose and the team shows something that we can build on, okay, we have a basic understanding of what we want to do or we want to play defensively and offensively. Even if we don't win the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Then it's okay for him to stay. So we didn't win the Gold Cup and we didn't show any of that outside of the Costa Rica game.
Yeah.
So now you lose. Remember we went to, where was it? Korea?
Japan and Saudi Arabia.
Right? So we had those as prep games for the Gold Cup. And then we had the Gold Cup as potential prep games for the
World Cup qualifiers, yes.
And you didn't get any continuation with the players. So players understand here who and knows what we want to do. All right. Now you get a break before a 3-week break possibly.
Yeah, before the start of the qualifiers.
Before the start of the qualifiers.
Yeah.
What happened in the 3-week break? Players go back to their clubs.
Clubs, yeah.
Right? And now they're in their club where they're preparing for their season, certain things. So we didn't get it right at that juncture. Come forward to our first game. What happened?
Against Mexico. Some players couldn't make it.
Give and take, because of the pandemic, there are certain restrictions. Now, where did it went wrong? Remember, Mexico game was our best advantage ever in Mexico.
To get a point or win, yeah.
Come away with a point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that we went into the game with that edge. One, their crowd support was absent.
Yeah.
That's a huge benefit to Jamaica. You ask why? Because when in Mexico playing, ask any other players that play there. With their crowd support, you can't hear yourself. Much less to hear a teammate call it. Much less to hear shouts from the bench or instructions from the bench. All right.
Whoa.
That is gone. So now the playing field and crowd support, which is the same in Jamaica. You play a game in an empty stadium.
Against Panama, the second game. Yeah.
Right? Part of your home field advantage is not just the field.
It's the home support, crowd support.
The crowd support is absent. All right. So we got a chance to come away with a point, even though we played abysmal.
That's in Mexico.
That's in Mexico.
Yeah. And they were without some of their top players as well.
Well, you feel your players, I feel mine. I don't know if your players. Personally, I don't go by players' names. So that
Okay.
can be received. Okay. So the performance was abysmal, but we could have come away with a point. So we got back to Jamaica, right? Now you feel what? 8 players
Eight
that
new
are
play.
new.
Yeah.
Whoever fault it is, whether Federation, Theodore, whoever fault it is, you feel, but the coach has to take responsibility for the unit that he puts out on the field.
Yeah.
That is the coach's responsibility. Okay? So you feel 8 new players, even though they are 8 English-based players, remember, most of them never played in that stadium, on that field, on that surface.
Yeah.
It's not the best surface. And most of them is the first time playing with each other. So the result you get is one that was expected. So we come away from Panama game, then where we went on the back end,
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. So now Costa Rica, again, was a chance where we could have capitalized.
Yeah.
For more than one reason. Remember, we are playing Costa Rica on the third leg. We had a better rotation in terms of, remember, we had players that didn't play Sunday.
Right.
That had a 1 week break. Costa Rica unit stays the same. So again, that is why towards the end of the game, we could have been pushing so much and look more dominant and more forceful. Costa Rica is probably the oldest team on
In
average.
there. Yeah.
World Cup. So age is going to set in. Again, we could have gotten a better result there. Okay, we took the one again. Which was the other game?
All right. So that was the first 3 games. The next game that we played now would be in the second window, which would have been in the October window where we played the USA.
Okay.
First, then we played we played Honduras. We played the USA, Honduras, and Canada. We played USA, then we came back. We played Canada, then we went to Honduras.
Yeah. Okay, we played USA.
Yeah.
What has been for me the disappointing thing with how we are playing? There's 2 factors. If you are going to play the way we play, where you hit the ball to the strikers and hope for them to fight for it, before the ball is hit to the strikers, we have to go play for the second ball.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not playing for the second ball, you can't hit the ball out because your strikers are going to be burnt out. Most of the time, it's 4v1 or 4v2.
Yeah.
You have to be chasing. And then if you don't possess the ball, remember, the game is about average, right? If I give you the possession of the ball 70% of the time, I have a 70% chance of scoring.
Yes.
To your 30% chance. The more you keep the ball, is the better your chances. It's the more legs you'll have towards the end of the game. So people are saying, okay, you have word that players are burnt out, they're tired, they're fit. They should be at this level physically in shape.
Yeah.
To play today, to play Sunday, and to play next week Sunday. Your body don't need no more than 48 hour recovery time.
Yeah.
So what you do in the 48 hours is a separate story.
Yeah.
So we had mental breakdown in the US game besides bad play. All right. Come forward, we play Canada. What happened in Canada game? We got a point. Then we went to Honduras. Now we got our goal again. We didn't outpossess Honduras, but we got a goal. Great. When we scored the second goal, we were almost at the point of breaking.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Because we were coming under a lot of pressure at that point of the game.
So that second goal that we got was very timely. and
Yes.
get needed. That end up breaking the Honduran spirit and just giving us those 3 points. Now, where are we? We are 6
5
of
points.
5 points. Okay. But going forward, we have to have some level of plan how we want to go forward or how we're going to go forward in our player selection.
Yeah.
You can't just put players on the field. You can't have 2 attacking midfielders on the field. Put complementary players on the field. If you have one that doesn't tackle but can possess the ball well, put someone around him that will do that work or that can help to do that work. Or you ask that player, okay, we know you're not a tackler. I'm speaking about Maggie in this case because that's the general consensus that he doesn't tackle it, but he's a great user of the ball.
Yes.
So what would you do?
Put pieces around him to complement him.
Yeah, but also you can take away the defensive responsibility or don't hold a player responsible for his defensive responsibility, even with his offensive capability.
Yeah.
What you do, you ask that player, when you lose the ball, apply pressure to the ball right away. If it's in your area. If the ball is in the zone that you're at, apply pressure. Don't just stand and watch.
Yeah.
Those are little things. From which game was it? I believe it was
he didn't play in the Honduras game. He didn't play in the Canada. Huh?
I think he came on in the Canada game. I believe he came on in the Canada.
In the Canada game, no, he didn't come on in the Canada game at the National Stadium.
He didn't go on. He played a game.
He started in the USA game and he was taken off in the second half. In the USA game, he started.
He came on in one of the games, and I said, you know what?
He came on. He started in the USA game in this window. He came out, but in the Canada game at the National Stadium, they were crying out for him. But in the stadium, because that was played in the stadium, I was there, but he wasn't brought onto the field and withdrew. When we went to Honduras, he didn't play in the Honduras game either. So he has not played since the USA game. I think the USA game was the last game, and he started in that game. The midfield wasn't well.
Who came in the Maggie would have played which game and did well?
The Costa Rica game he played very well because he was instrumental in that goal that we scored in the Costa Rica game. We returned in the midfield.
Okay, here's where I believe we are lacking.
Yeah.
Players are waiting until the ball gets to their teammate's foot or feet before they move. You make the run again. That is philosophy, mentality as well. You make the move regardless you're gonna get the ball. When you don't have the ball, you have one job to do.
Yeah.
It's to create an option for your teammate. If you get the ball, you get it. If you don't get, sometimes you have to make 2 and 3 runs. Right?
Yeah.
You're waiting until the ball gets to our player feet before we make the move. That is why our play is so stagnant. Okay, so that has to improve significantly. We have to try, okay, in the back, Lowe is taking too much risk.
Yeah, that's Damian Lowe.
Right, use the ball early. If you have a pass to your right, make the pass, get the ball back, but at least the ball is moving, so you're shifting the defensive team.
Yeah.
If you have a pass to your left, make it. If your midfielder comes to show for it, he's trying to make the final pass from the back.
Yeah, a lot of long balls, right? But I know that the coach also said that during his playing time, if he had defenders playing the ball long, Coach Whitmore said that what he would do in his time as a player is that there's no way he's going to allow that. He's going to go and demand that ball from the defender, but do all players have that confidence to go?
All right. Let's say he says that. I didn't hear that, but let's say he says that. What is his responsibility as a coach?
Well, to talk to the center back to say, listen, and to talk to the midfielder.
Your job as a coach is, guys, listen, the ball must go through the midfield. When the player show, give him the ball. And
right.
if the player is not doing that, that means he is disregarding what you want to do.
Yeah.
So it can be on the field. It's
Yeah,
that
because
name identity that does it.
that's one of the
Right
things.
and don't tell you.
Yeah.
And
one of the
remember,
things I know that at Constant Spring, I can use this as an example that if the forward would come out on the flank and you pass the ball down the flank, give him, you're in problems. You're coming off the field. You're not you when they come out there, you're told that they came out to make space. You don't pass it down there, no matter how. You don't pass it down there.
so that is the coach. What you call it, the coach style of play, what he expects, right?
Yeah.
So if the player knows, if you're not carrying out this, remember the coach has to give the player instruction. Also, and player has to play off their instinct.
Yeah.
Right? So, because if the coach passes it to the midfielder every single time, and every time the midfielder comes, there's someone in his back, then you can't do that. So you have to think for yourself.
Yeah.
But it becomes an issue when 90% of your pass is over the top. That becomes an issue. You understand? It becomes an issue when most of the games, your strikers are burnt out within 60 minutes of the game. It doesn't matter who you put up there. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Our strike and physical force over most of the opponents, yeah. The ball and play to their feet where they can hold the ball and players can move off the striker.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. Somebody is saying this is a Constant Spring supporter again, saying that sometimes a coach have to rough up the players to make them understand what he wants them to do.
Yes, sir. Gone are the days where coach bottled off and players and all of that stuff. That little that tell you about class, how much time we had this time we had that. But again, that's when they go and the system in which we grew up in, right?
Yeah.
That would have been what everyday thing. So
Yes.
right? Players can take, players come in personal.
Yeah.
Remember, myself and Chippy almost had a fight one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But that's because you're trying to hold your
People
teammates
accountable.
remember, you know. And that's one of the problems we're lacking in Jamaica. There's no accountability for our play. When a player plays, and this has nothing to do with who is more committed or not. Right?
Yeah.
When a player plays and then he gets up, he plays today, tomorrow he's on the aircraft and he leaves. Who is he accountable to?
Yeah.
You understand? That's the difference again with the 90s or most
Okay. Okay, let me make sure I get what you're saying.
Most of the people past to now.
So what you're saying is that back in the day, right, when you finish playing a game, if a man make a mistake.
Let me explain a little bit more in detail.
Go on, yeah.
Why a player playing for Arnett Gardner, Harborview, or Tivoli Gardner, Constant Spring, a Reno, a in Jamaica. If they are from that area, you get a different player than when they are outside. If a Tivoli player leaves Tivoli and go to Harborview and play, that's a different player than a player for Tivoli. You know why?
Because he's accountable to the community.
To defend. And you can be from England, you can be from Paris, you can be from wherever. Once you wear the color, that green, yellow, and black color, you have a people to defend. We are prideful people, you know.
Yeah.
And that is the disappointing part for most of the supporters. Sometimes it's not because you lose or you didn't get the point. Some of the time it's the way you play. There's nothing to cheer the art about.
Yeah.
So if a player is accountable to a society, just like the federation is accountable to the people of Jamaica, just like Theodore is accountable for the players he puts on the field, just like the players are accountable for their play on the field. There's one constant that they can't that no one can determine but you as a player, and that's your effort.
Yeah.
And if that constant is always there, then more than likely people are going to say, okay, let's give an example. May God rest his soul in peace. Stephen Malcolm. What no one cannot say about him is effort.
Yeah.
So those are the things that also a spectator we look for.
Yeah.
Right? This team, Theodore, if you listen to me, take my little stupid advice. We are
So
very
why don't just call him Dean?
well,
All of you went to the World Cup together.
take my stupid advice. We are poor on defensive recovery. There's a reason why most of our goals are coming from crosses. We have to address that. We have to address that.
Yeah. All right, so that's what you want him to hear. That's important, or defensive recovery and thing. Well, Coach Whitmore, hope you're hearing and thing. But what you also think, because I love the point you make about who is holding a player accountable, because I can just imagine like you guys play a game and then all of you have to go back home to that Chartwood house that you were staying in and be in there, how you can challenge a man in the next training session and stuff. And like you're saying, that don't happen now because all of these players are going back all over Europe, back into America. So there is no, once the game is done, there is no coming together for a couple of days kind of a thing. Yeah.
When you put it like that, it's going to come off like we're against player playing overseas. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but we're not saying that. But I totally agree with you that, I mean, at Constant Spring, here's the thing: is that when you travel to arena, you play a game, and say Moses make a mistake, you have a 1 week with him to challenge him in training.
Only that. Listen what you have. And any other player you talk to, ask him this question. You have a spectator to face.
Yeah, that too.
You remember Popeye?
Yes.
Popeye argued with me one time. Me take a stone and seal off him. The way I'm getting up. But again, you have the accountability.
Well, you had a spectator up there named Wayne.
All right.
Who used to go out.
Let me give you one more example.
Yeah.
The 98 team. Okay, people say them party and then this and that. But let me tell you something. They say 1 week before a game, nobody not going nowhere. Players, all players accountable. As a team, you have to hold your teammates accountable. The coach has to hold his team and players accountable. Warren knows that. Warren Barrett knows that. Theodore knows that.
Paul Hall
knows that. There must be some level of accountability within the structure of the team. Can I ask this question? Who you can say is the leader of the team?
Who is the leader? That is the problem. Nobody knows who leads the team.
You don't know that. And from watching, you can't tell that.
I think no, we know that Javon Watson is the leader who just came into the team.
How?
It looks so.
How?
Well, in the last game, he was the one on the field talking and pointing and telling everybody where to go in Honduras. So he looks like he has taken up the leadership.
Okay, so give him that. So, you understand what I'm saying? There has to be, because the leader of the team is, in essence, a brain of the coach on the field. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
So there's someone out on the field that would have been a Christopher Lewis, a Constance Spring.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that probably would have been an Hector Wright at Seba. That probably would have been a Warren Barrett at Violet Kickers. That probably would have been a Aaron Lawrence or a Michael Graham or a Ted Ward.
Donald Hewitt. Yeah.
Which are a Calvin Valentine.
Yeah. Blair Waterhouse.
That would have been probably a Kevin Lamy, a Irvino English at Waterhouse. You know, a Damian Powell. You have to have, that would have been probably a Chinsu at Arnett Garden or a Pele Wilson or
Bunzi.
A back. Teams need players that are a reflection or help to carry out the coach's instruction out on the field. We have to have a leader.
Yeah.
You know how much time we have to argue with Bam Bam at Kansas Street. Him want to do, and we are hold him accountable. Pay them a customer, me argue with him or we are Lincoln. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it is going to break the team, but when a team understands, our players understand, hey, I'm going to be held accountable. Your game changed dramatically.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. Listen, you sound like you're a coach, you know. I mean, are you? You sound like you're a certified coach, or at least you should be coaching and things. So, oh, you see what I mean? See, you have all tactical. There you go. You must. So why you not in Jamaica coaching? I mean, I'm telling you because how you thought, like because a lot of what we are saying, because I don't see, and I'm not, listen, I tell people that I'm not here to cuss the coach or anything, but I don't see a system of play. I can't tell I could tell what Ricardo Gardner was going to do, and when he goes up, that Pepe was going to go. There are certain things I knew about that team that in 1998. Like I said, I can tell people what Dean Sewell would do at Constant Spring, what Lincoln Tuff was going to do. I could tell them the runs that Trevor Lamb was going to make. You understand me? I could tell some of those things. And you saw it in the under 21 teams. You saw it, no matter what, you saw those consistent things in those teams. One of the problems that a lot of people are having now, or let me say people, is that we don't see the system.
There's no philosophy of play. As a matter of fact, I'm going to correct myself. Our philosophy apparently is get the ball 1-2 passes, hit it long, let them fight for it up there. You know, in Honduras, about the 68-minute marker, that is the longest possession of football we play. For the NAF game we play.
Right, that was when a Bobby Reed came on and they had a sequence of play on the right side of the field, yeah.
End up with a pass heavy. That thing I believe went outside.
Yes.
But again, we had about a minute plus of possession. The ball moved from left to right and we possessed the ball. Yeah. And to be honest, I believe our result would have been different in Honduras. Because to me, again, in my estimation and what my eye tells me, Honduras is one of the better teams in terms of play, physical nature, off the ball movement. They just hasn't been getting the break. They outplayed US, went down 2-1 and then just break from there. Outplayed Jamaica, end up going down 1-0, press back for the goal. So some of the time you can appreciate that as the eye for football. Remember, Brazilian coach get fired for what? Not playing attractive, not playing possessive football.
Yes. Yes.
I remember all the Premier League teams, and that's what I might think. Our spectators also need to learn the game and hold the players accountable. Just like they hold their club players that they cheer for accountable and the coach accountable. And the organization accountable. And the players that we can touch, see, and feel, we don't want to hold them accountable because of our friends. Let me tell you something. If me have a bad game, and me go home, me not stop hearing.
Yeah. Well, your older brother and your younger brother play football.
No, I tell you, I won't give you a joke. When we came back from Brazil.
You're breaking up.
Timo's name,
You're breaking up on your side, Dean.
a
I don't
team
know
that
if
was going to go to the same Gold Cup. And 7 of us got left out of the team because there were Can you hear me now?
there seem to be. I don't know if you can. You want to sign out and try and sign back in. I don't know because
Can you hear me, Poppy?
it's frozen up a little bit. So see if you can sign out and sign back in. All right. All right. Very, very good and insightful conversation with the Sewell people. I mean, this is the kind of thing. Listen, please. I mean, this is good content. You understand me? Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. You can't afford not to do it. As Dean is back again to, yeah, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, hearing you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Clear. Yes.
Okay.
You were talking about going to Brazil, I believe.
So we came back from Brazil, going to the Gold Cup. We selected a team. Okay, 7 of us were left out. The game of the first game we were playing, I think we were playing Brazil to be exact in the first game. I go in my living room, or the TV area, where the guys then gather for play, gather and watch the games, And when me go in and me hold my seat, right? Listen to this though, Remember me in my house, I mean, take my comfortable seat and never watch this game, A man come in and say, man, you have to come out upon the TV you for that. You can't take upon the right, Jacob.
In your own house. You have to come out to your own house.
Man, them say, me have to come out. You know what I do? Put on my gears and go run. So I don't watch that match. My work now is to make sure so the next time a game I play, them can't tell me that. And it was no matter of because I was good enough. It's a coach's decision. If you ask me, there's no Jamaican team that was selected then that I should be in as a starter. That's if you ask me. And if you ask most people, they'll probably sign off on that. But then again, Simons is going to select his team. So as a player, I have to be mentally ready, physically prepared for this opportunity. Why did I went to the World Cup? Most people, I wasn't supposed to go in that team if it was structured or compiled. 3 out and out. The right back can play left back as well. That right back could play midfield. Again, that was myself. So, because of that, I forced them to take me. And if you talk to Simon, I forced them to take me. My sacrifice wasn't going to go in vain. Now, how did I do that? I knew Mesa, my good friend, strengths and weaknesses. Mesa would never ever shoot. That it wasn't because of his play why Bibi took his game. It was because of Bibi's ability or show or did or was creating chances and scoring. That's why Mesa didn't get back his chance. So you move from a left back that is fit, can have the necessary touches, to a left back that will give you a chance at scoring. Every coach is going to choose that. And Bibi was good at defending as well. So because of that, I recognize that. So if the coach give me 2 minutes on the field, my first ball I go after goal. Whether I go over the top, over the stadium, wherever. Because you have to put it in the coach's mind that you're going to do something that can. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's there's ways in which we can combat our deficiencies. There's no way we should be giving up so many goals and crosses, which has been Jamaica's issue for the longest. For the longest, it has been our issue. We have and besides, we have taller players, we have more physical players, we have players. We're not scoring many crosses, and we are giving up goals and crosses. Our goalkeepers are taller than most of the goalkeepers. So now we have to ask ourselves, hey, where is the issue of defending crosses? That might be a point of reference where the coach has to address. You understand?
Yeah. There's
so,
I don't know if
it's been for Blake, we would have been in a more dire situation than we are now.
Yeah. I know sometimes the feed seems to be a struggle with the feed on your end, and I think what you're saying is so
you see
important.
where I'm coming from?
Yeah, you're totally right.
Things issue. Yeah. They're making too much administrative mistake. So if you're not gonna open up,
I think we're having some Dean. I mean,
you
I
just
want
got
you to finish.
frozen.
Yeah, I need you to finish up because what you just said is so important, but we're losing some of it. I don't know if it is the internet lagging on your side or the phone need to charge. I don't know, but I want you to repeat all of that once you can hear clearly, because someone is also asking if
It's too much
why
administrative mistake.
somebody's also
And it is being
asking.
funneled right down to the team.
Yeah. So someone is asking if I mean if you would love, like they would love for you to get an opportunity to talk to the current crop of players.
I'm not sure, maybe my battery
All right, so if you're hearing me, just sign out. All you have to do is sign out and sign in. If you can just sign out and sign in and see if it will get better, because I don't know if it's a battery or something, but I need you to say this again. I don't want you to leave without you repeating what you just said about the administrative stuff and the crosses. I want you to make that point. So if you can just probably sign out and sign in, because someone else has a very good point on screen about you getting an opportunity to speak to the present crop of players and the coaching staff as well. So if you can just sign out and sign in and then come back in, I'd really, really love that, because I don't want I don't want them to miss this point. All right. So we're having a little bit of struggle with the feed, but let's hope we can get it back. I hope Dean can probably sign out and sign in back, because I mean he's making some very, very salient, solid, important point that I don't want us to miss. This could be the answer to some of the problems we're having with the program right now. So I'm really, really hoping that, let me just see if I can, because like I said, I really want him to to finish up this. I'm telling you. So I'm going to just set. I'm going to. I have to. I have to get him. Like I can't let him come off and not complete this point. It's so important. So yeah. But yeah, I know somebody's asking when we're getting Eldam up. We have made contact already, and we're working on that. But don't worry, tomorrow we have Roderick Reed who will be on with us. That is Roderick Reed. So if you know the Tivoli team back in the days, listen, this is probably one of the skillest wingers um across, in Jamaica's football. We're gonna have him tomorrow, and then on Friday we have Lenny, the teacher Hyde, who will be coming to talk to us. So we have some programs lined up. Elder Map will come on, man. Don't worry yourself, right? We have been in touch, right? So I'm hoping Dean can come back, as he was mentioning the whole administrative stuff and how it filters down into the team and how the team plays. I mean, again, very, very interesting how he analyzes. And he's a coach now, he's a licensed coach. And I'm saying, so persons are out there, people who have the expertise, who have the knowledge, who can play a part in the transformation of our football. Here it is that Dean Sewell is a Jamaican in the States. I mean, has his coaching stuff. And yeah, we want these people in the football, even if it's from an advisory standpoint, but with this kind of intelligence and common sense and know-how. We need this in the program. And this is not undermining anyone's job, but it is just sending all it is really saying, listen, um, it's very simple. We need help. And that is the thing. We need to admit that we need help. And if we can admit that we need help, there are people well thinking Jamaican out there, who would be willing to help us. Um, I know Dean very well. I know the Constant Spring family very well, and I know that he would be more than willing, if called upon, to offer help to the national program, right? And that's just the truth. And he's not the only one. Here are others. So don't worry, people. We're trying to we're trying to get him back on. So just give us, how these internet thing go. They give some problems sometime, but yeah, we need to hear these things, man. We need to hear these things. So there we go. All right. Yes, sir. All right. So I just sent the link to you. I just sent the link to you. So you just check the link and then you can click in and come back on. I sent it to the email. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's Dean. He's trying to get back on. Right? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yes, Rob Simit. Um, I did say that. I hope listen, I've said it. It's on the radio. The player should be honored, man. All of these players should be honored for the USA game. I'm telling you, I think that needs to happen. And whatever we can do to add, like I said, add leverage to it, we will. And I mean, the platform. Listen, this platform is here because remember, part of what we want to do is up at Constant Spring. I think because Dean Sewell was a part of the 1998 campaign, we want we want him to be honored. Something needs to be done up at Constant Spring in honor of this footballer, big footballer. Represented Jamaica. Yeah, represented Jamaica. And represented Constant Spring, right? And so we're going to work on that. We are going to work on that. Up by Constant Spring, there should be something, maybe one of the stands or something in honor of this former reggae boy, Dean Sewell, man. Many people believe that he's one of the best right backs the nation has produced. So he's trying to get back on. All right. Yeah. Yep. All right. So I know that so we want to, yeah man, I know some of you are gonna have to run and watch the Champions League. So we just want to do this the right way. So once Dean comes back, we will have a 10-minute time with him and then we just wrap up from there. You know. Yeah, but I need him to finish what he's saying. Yeah, man. Listen, any of you know any of the contacts or any of the former players who are willing to talk? I don't have all of them. I have many, and I'm working. I mean, there are so many footballers. We could do this for the entire year, right? And so I'm working on that. But here's the thing: I don't have all the contacts. So some of the names we're trying to find them to get them. I mean, and so if you have them, you can reach out to me at I am sure sports on Instagram. That's the handle, and then we will do that. All right. We want to also big up our sponsors. Our sponsors are Trick Nick Cook. Right. Go to www.tricknick.ca and use the coupon code I am sure sports 001 to get 25% discount on all Trick Nick process. All right. There you go, Dean.
Okay.
Sounding better and
Where
clear.
was I?
All right. So,
Using
all
a
right.
different device.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's clearer and yeah, man.
Okay.
This is good. All right. So you were talking about how many squares you were conceding, and then you were talking also about the administrative failures that have contributed to some of what is happening on the field. You're right. So you were talking about the squares that we concede so many goals from
From
squares,
crosses, right.
right? And we are not scoring enough, and we have taller, bigger players, all of those things. And then you got into the administrative stuff. You were breaking up. And so we couldn't
All
hear all
right.
of that. But a coach in the group had asked, I mean, if you'd want an opportunity, if given to you, would you take the opportunity to talk to the players, the present players, and to just talk to the coach and share your advice to them? If that opportunity was presented to you, or has anyone reached out to you to kind of, give advice to
Well,
the
probably
team?
myself, Altiman, Butler, and Paul Young is considered rebels to the Federation.
Well, I wanted you to say that, not me.
Right, we considered rebels to the Federation. But Theodore needs some. Paul Hall should give him some help. But let me go back. I'm not. Let me go back to where I was. We can't see too many goals and crosses. For whatever the reasons, we are bigger, stronger, faster. Okay, so crosses sometimes are commitment not to let the opponent get that ball in.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a do or die commitment, and most of the crosses, I can tell you why. Players are not picking up
Yeah.
the opponent, the incoming runners. We are not identifying quickly who are the threat. If a ball goes to the outside, okay, where will the ball come? Right back in.
Yeah.
The ball is the first goal that we gave up to the US. When the ball went up, the guy break. The guy that was supposed to pressuring him was practically jogging. The second player that should have confronted him didn't make an attempt. The third thing, the guy had two options, one to the right or to shoot. So we had 3 or 4 players on the inside. All one player had to do, which would have been the wing back, is start edging to the outside, because some of the times the player on the ball is watching to see if someone is going to move, and we made a lot of that mistake. Just start moving, maybe a step or two. That pass to the outside wouldn't have been made.
Yeah.
Okay, the pass is being made to the outside. Our outside back is going too slow to put pressure on the ball. We had low going to the near post.
Sorry, Dean. I have someone calling from New York. Said he wants to ask you 2 questions. So just hold that point. His name is Diego Ogilvy. Go ahead, Diego.
All right, big up yourself to legend and thing. You don't know. The greatest right back come out of Jamaica. You go anywhere with preach that. So let's get beyond that now. My real things for you as a baller. I've been here something I want to confirm with you now. When I'm here, as a man who's been part of the program travel. Which one of the English-born players you don't want to see back here? That's the first question. And then we have an answer. And secondly, would you start with everybody available? Is Junior Fleming would be in your starting lineup?
No.
What should I do now, management? Hang up and listen?
Yeah, well, he says no on the Junior Fleming. He says no. With everybody available, he says Junior Fleming would not start.
Okay. And which English-born player now you have a problem with? How many of them have a problem with? Can he name them?
He didn't say, well, I don't know if it's elsewhere, but on
All right.
he hasn't said anything. You want to...
I ask him the question, because me him said elsewhere, so if you show us, I ask him.
All right. Listen, Diego, may I talk about this?
Oh, is that different? All right,
So
go ahead.
You want to get me on here. All right, let me explain to you. All
right, hold on, Dean. Diego, you hearing him? Or you want to... All right, so yeah, all right, so listen.
Me, Diego. As me explain to you on Sunday. Based on what I see, okay? I can't say the English-based players, you can't broad brush about commitment of players. Right? You can't broad brush that and say every English-based players, because as me and you talk, you have players where England were more committed to the program than players at Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay, but also you have a player. This is just what I say. It's not when I hear, it's when I read something. Okay, where the player said he's over with that crap. And this would have been Ravel Morrison, I believe it was. After one game, bad performance, possibly the cause of the first goal, whatever the reason, because of the color where you represent, whatever the infight, whatever the misunderstanding, whatever the disagreement, you can't make such comment. And the person that responded said he was talking about the Jamaican team.
Okay.
To me, that's a no-no. Me tell them all people are accountable for my football. And you know, me not really talk football like that with people, because especially when it comes to Jamaican football, I can't get it out there. Especially with Jamaican football, because them have it for say, because you never play them, they like it, this. No. I watch the game objectively. And anything when me I tell you, I want me see with my naked eye. I don't know about it. I don't do name identity. So if you perform, me I give you my nudge up. If you don't, me I gonna give it to you. Now, the question about Junior Flemings. Why wouldn't I have him on the team? In my starting team. I wouldn't have Alvas Paul in my starting team either.
Yeah.
Okay? Junior Flemings, when he plays for himself. That totally takes away from the team concept and structure of the game. That is why I would have him in my starting team. A lot of times he gets the ball wide. He comes to the middle. There's players in better position to receive the ball, to score a goal, or to give us an opportunity to score, and he chooses to shoot. Does it work?
But Dean, what if he's playing to instructions?
Again, you play to instructions, but again, as a player, instinctively, time and time again, you have to, the rule is the player in the best. Okay, if I have a 30% chance of scoring, and if I roll the ball across the face of the goal, and my incoming player has a 80% chance of scoring, I may shoot and score. It doesn't mean I took the right decision.
Yeah.
because the probability is lower than the person in front of the empty goal. Okay, how many times you see players on other teams give up a good chance for a great chance? That is the difference.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm going to tell everybody, in a whatever group me there, whatever conversation me have, he's one of the players that is playing for himself. That is what my eye see.
Okay.
If he's playing off an instruction, okay, my apologies, Mr. Flemings, but I can tell you from what I see.
Yeah. All right.
I'm giving my comments objectively.
Based on what you have seen, which is fair. You have to
Right?
yeah.
If I don't watch the game, I don't critique the game.
Comment, yeah.
If I don't see a player, I'm going to give you an example. When they played, I believe it was Mexico, in the Gold Cup finals a couple years ago.
Right.
Prior to that, I didn't see the team. And everyone was saying, this team is better than Mexico. This team is better than the 98 team. It's not a comparison situation, okay? And everyone is going to go back because you're always going to compare success to a lot of success.
Yes.
Okay, so you're being successful. Okay, give it that. And I said to myself, okay, I want to see this team myself. We all went to the game. You know where I went? At the top of the stands. So I had a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
No. The first 15 minutes of football that we played in that game was the best football I've seen Jamaica play. Bar none. Through all the years when I watch football. Bar none. But Mexico, we should have scored about 3 goals in that time period.
Yeah, that is true. The early part of that game against Mexico, we really...
Okay. Yeah. After Mexico attacked us twice, 3 times, because Mexico is a team that absorbs pressure within the first 15, especially when they play in Jamaica. Absorb the pressure and then counter. Right after Mexico, counter, we went back into our customary. Marky, we couldn't sustain that 15 minutes for 45 or for 90.
Yeah.
But after that 15 minutes, we break totally. Again, I can only speak for what I see. I remember, my memory box is great. Especially when it comes to play. You understand what I'm saying? No.
Yes.
So, I hope I answer, Diego.
Yeah.
Right?
See, someone is asking, okay, sorry. Don't want to interrupt because I have so many questions coming in. I mean, all right. Somebody, they ask, what is your, with the present squad, and this is a coach out there in Mountain View area. He says, when you look at the present squad, what system could get the best from these present crop of players?
Honestly, I don't know the players' strengths and weaknesses. I would go to a 4-4-2, to be honest.
Okay.
Right?
And then he's asking, what is your coaching style? Or I guess that is philosophy. I don't know if coaching style is different from philosophy.
Yeah, it is to some degree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The ball has to. I want my team to play through the lines. Okay. I want my players to move regardless if you're going to get the ball or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a wing back that I like to attack. So I want the outsides available for my wing backs to go. However, my midfielder must understand, and your 2 wing back cannot go at the same time.
Right.
If the right side is going, the left side has to slide around. Right? You're going to attack with 5, 6 players. When the ball gets into the box, there's 3 areas that you must hit. The front post, the penalty spot,
and the back post.
Not the back post close in, because you have to have a stagger. The front is going to go first because that's the one that's going to probably offset the goalkeeper coming to get the ball. The penalty spot and then you can have fillers at different areas. Okay. The ball must play. And you have to, what do you call it? The 10. No. When a striker moves out to the wing, your attacking midfielder
Becomes a
must flow
yeah.
straight to that spot.
Yeah.
Because again, you have to
So
create
so essentially, you're going when you're attacking. You still have three up front. You have one of your center forward going wide. The attacking midfielder come down the
it
middle.
depends on the movement.
Yeah.
Everything is totally dependent upon the movement and where the ball is. But let's say my striker is going to break outside for the wing back to lay a pass down that side, or the chance. My attacking midfielder must attack that space that the forward leave. One of the things Danielin always says, the space that is being vacated is the space that becomes available. So if I break to pull a player out of position, if he follows me, his position is open. If he don't, I'm open. Yeah. You see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So those are the little things that we can address, and that starts really from that's basically from the foundation of the game. Yeah. You understand? So we have to start teaching players these basic things at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Because when you understand that, it doesn't matter what system you get into, what philosophy of play, the basic requirement of the game is being met. Yeah. You understand? Back to where I was before Diego.
Yeah.
Before we got cut off. So, when the ball played outside to the US player, we had 3 or 4 players going to the front post. That was why Lowe, with his stretch head, missed the ball. He was too thin.
Right.
And there was the incoming runner. Remember, there was only 2 guys coming in, one at the far, one at the penalty spot. Just pick up that spot. Blake was going to the front. We had Kemar Lawrence passively going out towards the winger. Then we had another player. Then we had Lowe. So we had 3 or 4 players covering the front post and leave the penalty spot open. That's why the guy had a free header and I opened it.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to address that again. US second goal comes from where again? Across. And remember, the first goal came directly from the goalkeeper that started the play.
Yeah.
So that is something we have to address. All right. On the other point, the federation is making too much administrative error, whether by choice or by circumstance. Yeah. And it is funneling right down the stream to the players. Yeah. However we want to dice it. Right? If they cannot run the federation, I say it all the time, then we just get a wrecking ball and wreck the building with everybody in there.
Well, maybe that's an option, but I don't know.
No.
If that would, I don't know if that would change.
It sounds a little bit dramatic, and it is, but it's to the point where I'm trying to say they are not doing their job.
The job, yeah.
Of such, the coach is not being able to do his job, or the coach is not doing his job. Of such, the players are not doing their job.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. I have a guess. His name is he's out there in Denmark. He's a Jamaican out there in Denmark. Follows the Reggae Boyz football. So
when I see this name J Taylor in it, remind me of Jason Taylor, a great central midfielder from Wolmer's. Wherever you are, JT,
well,
yourself.
This is not him, definitely. This man talk a lot of football, but I don't think he plays any football at all. So, but I know he has a question or two for you. I know you have to also run shortly, Dean, because I know you want to go and watch Champions League. So I won't keep you.
Actually, the only reason why I have to leave is because I have a session to do at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so
but I'm going to tell them I'll be a little late. So
J Taylor, go ahead.
My name's and I did play football actually, so big up to your guest, Mr. Sewell. Yeah, right. I have some questions. As a past player, I think you're probably in the position to give us some clarity on this. As far as when your time of playing, how was the camaraderie between the English-based players and the local-based players in the camp at that time?
All right. I'm going to go deep from where it started. where the influx of English-based players started coming. The first four that came was Paul Hall, Dean Burton, Fitzroy Simpson, and Robbie Earl. I don't recall exactly if Robbie Earl never came on trial, but I think he had came to Jamaica to meet with the federation. I'm not sure. But the other three came on trials in the summer of 97. So they paid their way. Not saying that these players should either, but they had paid their way. So you can practically say they paid their dues. And they showed their willingness and their gut and their wit to be a part of a program. And remember, at that time, we were 3 points, 5 points, I believe. Let me go back.
At 5 points at the end of the first round.
At the end of the first round, we were 5 points. Yeah. With how it looked like there was no possibility of qualifying. Right? So we have to take that into consideration. So when they came this summer, Dean Burton really didn't came for tryouts. He followed the group because that was his clique. So they came to tryout. They went on the week tryout that was open up to the public at the stadium. Sewell saw them, liked them, and said, okay. And then they joined the team at the team house. So they were inside the team house. So that group of players were embraced fully and wholeheartedly. Maybe not by everyone, because remember, players that comes in means players get pushed out. Right? So what did they brought directly to the program was some level of professionalism, day in, day out play and practice. If you ask me again, we had one player that had the quality of two players that came in. What Dean Burton did, Paul Hall is really a mover, a runner. Dean Burton finishes well in front of the goal. He moves into small spaces and get a chance at goal. We had one player that did that. And that was Paul Young. Right? So, did we need that? Maybe not, but coach decided. So again, coach's decision. Simpson came in at left midfield. So who was playing left midfield at the time? I'm not 100% sure, but Simpson came in at left midfield. Paul Hall came in at striker. Remember, Paul Hall and Dean Burton now end up replacing Walter Boyd and Andy Lowe.
Wow. That's big.
All right. I don't remember, but when Simpson came into the midfield, that pushed Shorty Malcolm out of the team, which eventually pushed me out of the team because they now push Shorty Malcolm to right back. Not because of play, because I'm going to say this. When Theodore is playing right midfield and I'm playing right back, I hold you accountable to what you have to do. I'll cover for you, but I'm not going to leave my work exposed. Shorty Malcolm won't hold him accountable because of their receiver pals.
Okay.
So, and this is factual statement I'm telling you. When I play right back and Theodore plays right midfield, the team plays off balance because Theodore moves to the left side of the field more often. And anyone can dispute. This is a fact. To the point where Simois recognized it and said, when you and Theodore play, the team doesn't play balance. So he's going to play Shorty Malcolm. Part of the reason, this is my summation, I am more equipped to deal with the ball than Malcolm does. I don't really need help. You understand? Because at Constant Spring, I play midfield, right midfield in practice, right back. So I know the function of the wing backs. And the midfield. One of the reasons why they did that is because as the right midfield, playing right back, you understand what the wing back is seeing. And as the right back playing right midfield, you understand where you want the ball in that position. So it's kind of a, what do you call it? Flip-flop.
Yeah.
Feel better mentality. So when that happened, he had to bring Malcolm in just to let the team play balance. Again, I'm saying this because that now it is the coach's job to hold Theodore to the responsibility of where he's supposed to play. Not because you're going to throw the thing off balance, meaning you're going to take out the player that is doing his job. But you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but again, sometimes it's easier to change one than change 11.
Change it. Yes. So the integration. So
the
do you have?
integration was met to some degree with skepticism and pushback again because it's players taking players' spot. And remember that now led the federation or the media start to demonize Anandilo and Walter Boy.
Okay.
That they're indisciplined. They were however they were that way when we were during the qualifiers. So now because they get replacement, you start to demonize. Okay. So that said, and remember now, they came in and they helped us, Dean Burton, score a ton of goals. Not a ton, but important goals that got us to the
World Cup. Yes.
Now, when it comes to after we qualified, we went to Trinidad to play a testimonial game. A question was asked to the coach about, how about let those who played during the qualifiers fight for the whatever amount of spots. And he said, no, well, if that's you guys' decision, well, I believe I won't be the coach. And because of that, the two players that were asked, they never see the Jamaica team again. That was Paul Young and Altimont Butler. After that Trinidad game, they never see the national team again. So, come forth now. When we got to the World Cup, leading up to the World Cup, they brought in Frank Sinclair. And again, this is one of the reasons possibly why people have a problem with the English-based players. And I was to some degree of that same thought process because I'm looking at it in its whole entirety. If you have a chance to be selected for England and you have a chance to be selected for Jamaica, and you believe the window of making the England squad is severely diminished.
Yes.
And there's a prospect for you because remember, everything helps your career. And you realize, okay, if Jamaica can qualify, that will still give me a boost. And I can't get into the England team. I can get into the Jamaica team for whatever the reason. And you're up, and that's your reason for doing it, then that's a no call for me. You understand what I'm saying? Not that your intention is not good, but it's more geared towards you and not the team.
Yes. You're there because you didn't have the opportunity.
That is where I believe most of the supporters or people have an issue with the English. It seems that way.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to some of the other players. They come in and some of the players are doing their job. But to me, not all. Remember, if you give most Jamaican the facility where them play upon, the environment where them them players gonna be better. Do we have players in Jamaica now that can do that? I don't know. I don't see the game. The last game I watched in Jamaica, I almost fall asleep. It was horrible.
Oh, man. That's terrible.
But again, the players again in Jamaica have to hold themselves accountable. If you are producing and performing, then they don't need to go and look outside. The federation has a responsibility to put players or select players that they can have a core. So now you can add players according to your need.
Thank you, sir.
That is the federation and the coach's responsibility. You're not going to have the English-based players or the overseas. Let's not say English-based players because then it seems like it's just England we have an issue with. Or people have an issue with. The overseas-based players, you're not going to have them every day, every week, every month accordingly.
Training.
So you have a core set of players. At least you can test your philosophy or your mentality or your idea or your style of play with your local based players in camp, week in, week out.
Thank you.
So when you're going to play a practice game, you don't need to call 15 overseas-based players. You can call 6 to help do. You play 3 in the half, 3 in the other half, however you do it. Again, it's fiscally responsible too. So there's a lot of ways we can do it and a lot of ways we can look at it.
Just a follow-up question to that. As far as your observation, how do you feel about the current integration of the English-based players? Because my sentiment is similar to yours, where I think it's not possible for you to have 90% of your squad in England. You're not going to be
not
able to.
No,
Jay Taylor.
not possible.
England.
It is very possible.
It is, but let's not use England. Just say
Not
overseas.
England, overseas. And my theory just goes back to one of the point you're saying is for the coach to implement a system and to try the system over and over. You're not gonna have access to those players locally. So my sentiment is I think the foundation of your team should be locally, and the pieces you need, you add those pieces to make the team complete. So I'm saying
but
to you,
also remember we are in an area where you can start with a foundation locally and then a player or two get contract and go overseas. You understand what I'm saying? And that's been something that's been happening. But I'm saying, so the point is, how do we infuse a philosophy of play with the way we are selecting our team? You understand what I'm saying? So now, as a coach, you have to select players that fit whatever you believe you want to do on the field. Suppose you want to play a touch game. Are you going to implement all players that just want to play it long?
Yeah. So what you're saying?
Suppose you want to play a running game, then you can do that.
I'm glad I clarified that, D, because what you're saying is that if 90%, you don't have a problem with 90% or 100% of the players playing overseas, as long as they fit into the philosophy that the coach has. But what the coach must do is have a local core that he is testing out and trying out his philosophy on, because he's not going to have the overseas-based players to do that on a daily basis. Yes.
So your local-based players is considered your lab work.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Let's say the pandemic was last year. When it came where they were going to play, they saying the players weren't in shape to play and all of that stuff. That's absolute crap. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in the pandemic, nobody's going nowhere. You have a place where you can house the players, get them in. So the local base players shouldn't be cut out because they're not physically ready. Because in the pandemic, them not going away anyway. So put them in a camp, pay them where you have to pay them, and make them play. So physically, them ready. So that cannot be a mark against the local players that physically they're not fit because they hasn't been playing. Nobody been playing.
And
the local base players also have to understand you have a commitment to play. You go train. So if you have a 5-hour window where the place open up, you go run. Keep yourself physically in shape. Because let me tell you something. To fulfill any agenda, people gonna find their narrative that suits them best.
Yes.
So if because of the pandemic, them want to bring in an influx of players, them gonna say, well, the local base players, them not fit. So what we must do? But when the window is open, they'll get their fair chance. Once it starts, it now go come back.
Because my question to you is because I understand what you're saying. What my fear is you, because there's not enough spotlight on the local league in Jamaica. I'm afraid that you just pull players from abroad because they're in foreign leagues, and the way you're observing players from Jamaica for that position, you're basing your decision on the league that the player is playing overseas when he's probably not even playing. He's on the bench.
Right.
So I'm talking about the balance. I don't know if you understand.
I understand what you're saying. and I hear this comment, and Fabian Watkins made this comment fairly often. As I tell you, I don't really follow it like that, so I can't say for sure. But he always make this comment that you're in Jamaica playing, you can't get a call to the national team. And as soon as someone take you and bring you overseas, all of a sudden, they see it to call you. So you have to get a contract if you can't make the team. As I tell you, I don't know for sure, but he seems to be on it. So it has to be when him hold him point, him hold it adamantly. If that is the case, that is absolutely wrong.
Thank you.
You understand? You must can identify. You must can identify a few prospects, and nobody can tell me that it's not in Jamaica. Because I'm gonna say this again. I watched the 2018 with my own eyes. U18 team play a triangular tournament of Florida, and them absolutely outclass the US teams, and they played a team from France, and them steamrolled them. That was a team I believe Maggie was in. Come forward 2019, and that was a complement of about 40 players. We had players quality at every position in the 18 team. I watched the 2019 team. They were even way better. As a team, that team had a little player from KC named Atkinson. I told him, keep doing what you're doing. Your future is bright ahead of you. They had pace, they had movement, they have ball touch, they have ball skill. So you can't tell me
there's no local talent. Thank you.
So if we got 19, let's say we have 60 of those players, or 40 are the best players from the 2018 and 2019 U18 team. Put them in a camp and prepare them. Come qualifiers, we're ready. We are the only team that have a 17 or 18 or 19-year-old or 20-year-old.
Thank you.
We are suffocate the youth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And the development starts from the youth. So until we address that as a federation, as a coaching staff, and as a country, we are going to have a problem. Tell me the young baby prodigy where I come out of Jamaica. You can go as far back. Me can call youth prodigies Kimani Robinson from Campion. But back then, there was no light in football, so most of them have to go overseas, pick up their career elsewhere. Huey Ferguson, Jamal Green, Fitzroy Jackson, Dennis Ebanks, Troy Pinnock, Adonis Maxwell. Adonis Maxwell and Troy Pinnock, two of the best moving strikers as a combo I've ever seen. So now tell me the talent now they are Jamaica.
Thank you.
You can talk about Omar Daly. You can talk about Wiley Boo. You can talk about one of the most moving striker, Fabian Taylor. Barring injuries. Jeremy and you have great quality, but what was his drawback? Is defensive again.
It didn't
Replica
work.
of Maggie.
My God.
But you surround him with players that does the work. Hector Wright.
Your mic is muted.
Yeah, man. I have a big question for you now.
Hector
With
Wright,
all of
this
these
is from
things.
school. Hold on. This is from schoolboy days. Michael Graham, this is from schoolboy days. Most of them never transition. Kevin Lamy, a great finisher, but didn't transition well. O'Neal McDonald, great finisher, didn't transition well.
Kevin Pele Wilson.
Got his chance, seized the opportunity, and then they cut the curtain on him. Donald Stewart, Andre Virtue. Lincoln Taff was probably one of the best midfield in Jamaica. And if you ask me, him am my best midfielder. Maybe because I played him, so I have some bias there. So don't tell me we not have with the quality is not there. Even though I'm going way back, I'm just telling about I can't do name identity, but I can tell you about the core of players that I see.
Yeah. So my question, Dean, is to you now, is that I mean you being a part of Cardiff, I mean, why don't you is there anything that you can do to help some of these 16 and 15-year-olds from the position that you're in as a coach?
Yes, there's a lot can be done, right? From the player perspective, from my perspective. Yeah. But again, I'm not in Jamaica. Okay. You understand? So it is difficult. But as me explain to you, if me go watch a game, it no matter who it is, me pull him aside and say, listen, I think you need to do this. Look at this. Or me just give him a broad perspective of what me think is the player is doing. As the youth coaching. Like if me play against an opponent and when the game finish, I'll pull a player to the side and say, okay, this was where you're going wrong and blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't matter to me who you are as a player, whether you have the seat. If Mr. Low right now, me tell him, big man, you need to start play around with the ball at the back. It just that it not cost us yet. Is bad play or indecision or trying to play with the ball just hasn't cost the national team yet. And it's not until then people are going to call for him to play. Because if you ask me, for the last 4 games, me not think for the team. Fabian never tell me, maybe, okay, well, he's the best defender. And because he's not cost we yet. And why? Is a few times well where he handle the ball and because I'm size and I'm strength, I'm able to fend off the offensive players. Because them don't nick the ball off fine. He did it in the USA game, they nicked the ball off him and
he went back and tackled that.
Yes, right. Yeah. His recovery speed is very well.
I can tell you that. I can agree with you because I've counted in the last 10 games that Jamaica play, he has taken the ball and cut it right 10 times, only to cut it left, only to put it back on him right foot to make a long pass. And somebody's watching that.
So, remember, in 1993 when we played Mexico, anytime you talk to Walter Boyd, ask him about this. He dominated the preliminary rounds of the Gold Cup. We played Mexico in the semi-final. You know what Mexico did? They had a player run beside on his right, one on him left, and one behind him, and then one confronting. So when him confront the player and can't go right, he can't go left, he can't turn back. That's scouting. Do we have a proper scout for our national program? Because remember, teams change. So you have to understand too, every team is going to play to their strengths. I'm watching a game and I can say, okay, this team, them recognize the left side of Jamaica weak. No, the right side of Jamaica.
Right, Alva Sewell, right?
For the most part. Right? So even though they're playing the ball up the middle to the right, the end product is coming from the right side, of our right side. Which, again, because of that, Low has to be overcompensating from his position to offset that to some degree. So that pulls him out of position. Also, when the ball is being played, when Low can win the ball, he's waiting to use his physical stature to overpower the striker. When you can sometimes win the ball or make the play on the ball easy. You understand what I'm saying? So there's things that you're seeing that can be corrected as a coach. It has nothing to do with personality and personal issues and all of that.
And playing style.
You understand? Ask yourself this question. For the last 3 games, Alva Sewell go down earth. The next game him in. Go down earth again, then take him out. The next game him in.
He's in.
So you either correct the injury before you put, if it's the injury that's causing his performance, fix it. Fix it. And as a player, you must know your body. I'm going to tell you this. Sunday we had a over 40 semi-final. I'm reach the game. I'm tell the coach, I say to the coach, physically, because I 1 month I not play because I have some stomach issues. I said to the coach, physically, I'm 100, but if you need me, just be honest. Don't believe it will cost you your long-term spot. Because your bad play can cost you your long-term.
Even at your club.
You understand what I'm saying? So players have to be honest with themselves. Going forward, you have to be honest with the team. You have to know what is at hand. You know. Play 500 minutes and then reach the World Cup. That not help me, that not help you. But the coach, though, has to hold himself accountable. These are things that I can see.
Yes, yes.
You understand? As I say, the federation, I make too much blunder. Right? Too much blunder. And sometimes the appearance of your blunder is so dramatic or so critical that it can cost you. It costs you the trust of your players and all of them things there. And you don't want that.
A quick question, sir, to segue on that, because this is something that I've noticed. You talked about those younger core players. Based on statistics that I'm looking at, what do you think is causing when players transition from Jamaica into the USL? Why the USL seems to become a graveyard for young Jamaican talent, where they
It's
don't
not a
make
great.
it.
Remember, you know, the USL also is a feeder program for the MLS to some degree. So if it becomes a graveyard for you, it's because you don't adapt. We are people that are customary to what the food now gonna be the same. The community now gonna be the same. Right? Your preference is not, so you have to know, entrench yourself and say, okay, you see in this 6 months or 7 months, it's football in my life, it's football, I'm gonna deal. Look, I'm deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? I deal with it. Ask yourself, it's quite a few players that we have that can't take it overseas for whatever reason. Them choose to come back home. And you have a few that stick it out.
What he's saying though, why when the players, like you'll have, like I see like a Lamar Walker as an example, the Nicky Daly, the Nico Brett, the Dean Kelly, these guys, Kevin Lambert, even Junior Fleming to a lesser extent, I can name names. They have been in the USL for so long. And the question is, why haven't they moved on to bigger clubs per se, move on to clubs in Europe, probably in the Scandinavian nations, or why it's
honestly, everything is determinant upon your play. Sometimes the way the cookie fall your way, the cookie crumble your way, your agent. There's a lot of factors, so you cannot just base it on them just get stuck at the US. Because if you get the USA have MLS players that play and I compete at high level, you understand? And I outplay with. So we can't say that. We can't be looking for every rational or every excuse to not let the program go forward or national program go forward. Because if they never play at the USA, where they would not play.
Jamaica.
And then you're going to say they're not good enough to play. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not going to knock players because I remember also, it's great earning for them. It's way more than what them that make at Jamaica. You understand? So let me just text this coach. Want to put me in a trouble, but
no man, it's all right. You only 5 minutes and you go, man.
No, but I just text the manager. Again, you see, that's because the national program is more important to me. Not more important, but it have some level of importance.
Yes.
You understand? So these are the things that we have to address. You understand what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Some of them call you two-faced. Some of them, some of your fans them know you from long time. Call you two-faced. Some call you one blocks.
I can't tell you this. It depends on the name you call me.
You know them know you from.
Me know at what point you know of me. Two faces just from the 98 campaign.
There you go. What about one blocks?
One is as a person who grew up with me.
Okay.
Viceroy of the Constant Spring people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gargamel is for the period and at the national team before the 98. Cause like the Cabras and the Madagascar, them a Gargamel them call me. Why? Because I'm used to sing Buju song day in, day out. You understand?
So you and Foley were the vice man in the camp?
No, Foley was the vice man in the 98. Because remember, I came back in the 98 team in
right
97.
for the work. Yeah.
In 97 for the final phase of the qualifiers. You understand? But again, I'm just showing you your commitment to the first and foremost. Players, whoever I watch, listen to me. Your commitment first is to yourself. And if you hold yourself accountable, good things will happen. Remember, your name is a brand. So when you hold yourself accountable, you defend your family name, then you defend your community, then you defend your club, then you defend your country, then you defend. You understand what I'm saying? So there's so much things in the mental state of a player where him supposed to know him have to protect. I'm not the best training player, you know. But try know me I go work. It's when it comes to game, different is a monster come out. You understand? So we have to know players we have to do these things. We can't have a 10-yard pass and miss it by 5 yards. We can't have a 40-yard pass and miss it so bad that the ball left 20 yards above the man's head and gone out the door.
Yeah.
These are the qualities that's costing us. How much time we watch the game? I see a simple 10-yard pass or 5-yard pass and he missed the man by 5 yards. It is frustrating to watch. These are the things we have to work on our craft. And that is, you see, it's like me tell my young players. When them get to the field, first thing them start do a shoot. Shoot. If you don't know to get to the goal, you can't shoot. I'm watching the USA game, and it doesn't matter how the ball come off of the USA man them foot. If it come off 5 yards from about bad control, is a next US man get it. Them they think they are commitment to play.
Yeah. See, Coach our next coach is asking you, what is the mark of a good coach? And I guess that is the last question, and then I'll let you run because I don't want you to miss your session because I can't pay you.
It's fine. All right. Understanding his player is one. Putting his team in the best position. You can have bad players and make them look good, you know. Carl Brown is a great motivator, you know. People may say, I believe he's not the best tactical coach, but he's one of the best motivators of players. Those are signs of good coach. Being able to put your team in the best position to win. Whether they win or not is besides the point. Because it's 3 results you can have, a win or lose. Right? Sometimes you can play the best game and lose. You understand? So these things happen. So those are traits that you're going to look for. And if you look on the world stage, those are the kind of coaches that can maximize or get the players to maximize their effort.
Yes. Can I ask a quick question? Are you still in contact with the current Jamaican coach, Mr. Whitmore?
I have a number for him. I haven't spoken to him in about 15 years.
Okay. Because some of the things that as we see that's holding the team, like as for me, I spoke about this before the Gold Cup. I don't know how much importance you put on substitution as a coach. I think that's one of Theodore's weak areas where he doesn't know when to change the game. He lets the game drag on when you need to inject a
All right,
player
you
to
can.
change the
All
game.
right, that's a fair and valid point because some of the times you can see players leg dying and them still out there. Me understand that, but all right, substitution is key. You have to know. Remember, sometimes you can make one change, and it's three changes you're making. But again, you have to know your player personnel. You have to know what you want to happen in the game when you're going to make this change. Personally, one of the issues I have with Theodore, again, is the same way he was. He was an introvert, and he coaches the game as an
It's an
introvert.
introvert.
There's no emotion on the sideline. Not saying it must be all animated and all of that. But at some point, you have to, when players are mess up our instruction, there's no coach in the world when we see about them player. Or give them instruction from the sideline. Sometimes the best coach, you see him come off and you see him all grab all the player and you see him shake him.
So you want him to be more expressive in terms
So
of
you have
his.
to,
Yeah.
again, it becomes an expression from the coach that carries out on the field. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
players take what?
They take everything from the from the
of
coach. Yeah.
Mm.
Most players does that. You understand? Look at Pep. What he does. He maximizes what he has. And then try and if he play and now do it when him come out, you see that. You understand? Theodore is just like this. Good, bad, or indifferent. That is personality. Understand. So you can't knock him on his personality. But you have to find, you understand what I'm saying? You look disinterested to me. And me know it mean a lot to him.
Maybe he's maybe he's coaching under pressure because maybe every game he goes into
No,
feel like he's gonna lose him job.
No,
I'm
Manage.
just-
No,
yeah.
Manage. Come on, man.
No.
You can't save him,
Okay.
Manage.
No. Leave that alone.
Okay.
Leave that alone. Leave the coaching under pressure. Every coach is under pressure once you're a coach. And if you can't handle the pressure, come out of the kitchen.
All right. Okay. All right. So
You understand
all
what I'm
right.
saying? So
Yeah.
if a player tell me I'm nervous before a game, I'm supposed to be nervous because the game means something to him.
Yeah.
I could have even marble me a play. Me nervous. I could have 1v1 me a play. Me nervous. But the minute you cross the line, your preparation becomes the key. What them say? If you fail to prepare, you what? You prepare to fail.
Yeah.
All right.
And them say it's one for all and all for one.
Yeah.
So when Theodore started, he got the best out of the players because the players respected what he brought as a player to the program when he just started. So we finished. We win the last 3 games, even though we never. And them said, well, I should have the Theodore, but the players were paid for Theodore. Remember, some of the players at that time too was his counterpart, was his peer.
Yeah.
So obviously, if me a coach a Constant Spring team, right? Them are gonna fight for me harder than them fight for your next coach.
Yeah. Because you're a Constant Spring legend.
Yeah, you're not necessarily a legend, but means a name to be reckoned within a Constant Spring.
Yeah.
So that level of respect, but when me start do me crap, and if me not get the result, them are gonna call for me for fire talk.
Yeah.
No coach absorb from pressure. Only every day I hear people saying forget fire. Him under pressure too, him for a coach too.
Well, look like today is the end of his reign, given the scoreline, right?
No, I'm just saying when you look at, you understand what I'm saying? No, the point what I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but I get the point.
You understand? Is that the position that you hold requires some pressure because you're accountable for 2.5 million, if not 4 hours 5.
Yeah.
And you're accountable for the 40 or 50 or 60 players. And you're accountable to the federation. That is why when the federation not do them job, them forget pressure too.
Yeah.
When the players don't do them job, them forget the pressure too.
Yeah. Yeah. I see
It's a wholesale thing, you know. And if them qualify, we are gonna rate them same way. And we are gonna love them and we are gonna embrace them. But when it becomes stressful, and you cannot, we the spectators on the outside, not seeing anything to our naked eyes, that can say, okay, you know, so we see some effort or so. And you know, and you say now, boy, some games you come on and say, boy, all right, this is a good building back, and then go back to the next game. Hold on, how this team had it? Them have can block out the nice too. Because you focus for the game right ahead of you is important.
Yeah, man.
You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things you have to lock in, can lock in. The coach can lock in.
Yeah, people, you hear that? Sound advisor. Listen, man. We have gone in 2.5 hours. This was supposed to be 30 minutes, you know. You see how far we have gone over the time. So really, really, really great talk with you. I see some people like they're just coming on. Listen, Ishmael from Whitehall, the man talk about Constant Spring already. He can't go back over all of that. We're gonna have to do a next interview at some other point, or we're gonna get some more of the Constant Spring people on from that era so they can speak about it. But I want to thank Dean, I mean, for his time. I mean, he's a coach. What level? Just tell us what level coaching badge or you're at now.
The B license. But listen,
the B license. Okay.
Again, you see, you need the accreditation.
Yeah.
But listen, everybody know a coach from book and coaching no go so, yeah?
Yeah.
Coaching no go so. You have to really know what you're doing when you're a coach.
Yeah.
I could ask a question after Mannings. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, most coaches, and this to some degree in the US, them go all at the seminar.
Before you
the license is one thing, but you have to have a basic understanding of the game and know what you want to get done.
Yeah. Go ahead with the question,
Yes. So since you're wrapping up, I want to say appreciate you coming on again. So now this is where we are in the World Cup qualifiers. 5 points from what is it? 5 games?
6.
I think 6 games from 6 games. We spoke about the coach's deficiencies or his lack of tactical ability, and certain players that's in the squad that's costing the squad. With all this said, and the makeup of the team going forward, what is your prediction for this World Cup?
I'm not going to predict. I'm going to say
well,
I'm not going to predict, but here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
How much games we have leaving at Jamaica?
8. Oh, 5. 5 in Jamaica
5.
and 2 away. Yeah.
We have 5 at Jamaica and 2 away.
Yeah. Well, right. 3 away because we have El Salvador away.
All right. So we have 3 away. So we have 8 games, isn't it? That's 24 points.
Yes.
You have to get about 17 after 24.
Okay.
So that would probably consider getting 2 away points and 5 home games.
Home wins. Yeah. Well, we can get the away points against El Salvador.
Well, we're not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure, but I am sure. Because that's the name of the channel. That's the name of the channel. I am sure. So I have to say, I am sure that you can.
Mr. Sewell, do you keep the coach if we go to El Salvador and we don't get a point?
Again, you see, we are asking questions that to me doesn't make sense.
Well,
You understand what I'm saying? Because let's say you go El Salvador and you don't get a point. Really and truly, you're not supposed to win. It's not set up for you to win the away game. You understand what I'm saying? So you go upon a man. Again, that is why I'm saying about 17 points. I'll get us there. 17 out of the next 24. That is practically 2 draws and 5 wins.
Yeah. Important thing is winning the home games first. Somebody is asking. Yeah. Is winning the 5 home games.
We cannot come out of. We have to beat USA at home. If we drop a point to USA, we're in trouble. Okay?
Yeah.
Mexico might be a hard out at home, so we might have to compensate by getting 3 points off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you understand the thought process I have?
Yeah.
So, we have to say, okay, who can challenge us at home that can be a little detriment to our. But if we think we are going to give up 4 points at home, we have to get the 4 points away.
Yeah.
And
that's where I disagree with Mr. Sewell, though, as far as not thinking that away game. For me, I think a good coach thinks that there's a point in every game, wherever you're playing.
Yes, because remember, you start with a point.
Everybody starts with a point. Yeah.
Everybody starts a game with a point. So if you're going to look at it from that dynamic, then them start the game at your house with a point as well.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes the game can get away from you. Sometimes things happen and you lose the game. But what I'm saying is, if you believe, because you have to, by this, when you play El Salvador, you'd have a basic feel of all the teams that you play.
Right. So you know what to expect in the second round from each and every team. Yeah.
You also have 7 games worth of tape for each team.
Right, because each game would have played 7 games.
And then play 7 more games. You understand what I'm saying?
6 more games, yeah.
You can go and dive in totally, sit down and study and watch and watch and watch. You understand what I'm saying? Their strengths, because all teams play to their strengths.
Yeah.
And now you can then make a valid assessment and say, okay, Mexico might be a little tricky for us in Jamaica. So we'll make sure we don't come with less than a point. Not that you're going for that, because you have to go for the win. But let's say it gets to 85, 86 minutes and you have a point. Again, Mexico. 85, 86 minutes, you have a point. You can't give up a goal in the last 5 minutes. So you cannot press for a goal to give up a goal.
Yeah. It's better to keep the one that you have than lose it.
Yeah, it is counterproductive to the plan that you have. So what you then have to do is say, okay, me have El Salvador. We can nick 3 points off of this team. So if you get 3 points, it kind of give yourself a little leeway. And your next away game, which will be Canada, again, Canada play one of the best brand of football. Another thing. It might be a little bit difficult for you, again, in a Canada, right? Can it be accomplished? Yes. Okay. Me have to get a point out of Canada. If me get 3, great. Now you get 6 from away. So now you only account for 11. That's a 3 win and 2 draw. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, you have to measure it as you go by.
So you have to measure it as you go. Everything is tactical, When we played 98, we knew 15 points could have carried us. We know we were strongest at home.
Yeah.
And this is before the campaign
started, yes.
We identify 15 points can carry us. I would tell ourselves 15 points can carry us.
And I heard that there was a tallying of the points, and everything almost come to a T in terms of which game they can get points, which game
There
they
you
can
go.
get points, which team they can get 1 and 3, and
You understand?
almost
So
all of those stats kind of fell right in
the
queue
chip
with what.
fall right in
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
You understand? And again, it's because of we negligence or what they call indiscipline. Why we never qualify from El Salvador? Because we give up the last goal because we have full
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We're up 2-1 away. And we give up a goal in the last 10 minutes and come under severe pressure to close the game out.
Yeah.
So now you understand the broad view of my point where I make. Identify where you can get, but I believe 17 points can get us at least into the, if not in the third spot, into the
Fourth playoff spot.
into the playoff spot.
Yeah. So let me take this question that is on the screen because someone is asking you ever captain a team. Yes, Dean Sewell captain Constant Spring. That much I know. He did captain. I don't know if he captain any other team, but he captain
I can tell
Constant
you
Spring.
this, I'm always a captain for the team.
Yeah. So
You
he
just have to
captain.
wear the armband.
You
I
just
don't have to wear the armband.
yeah. But well, he wore the armband at Constant Spring as well. But
college though. I wear it Charleston. I wear it when I play for the Connecticut Falls in the A League.
yeah, man. So people, there you go. 2 hours and 40 minutes of talking with B license coach over there in the United States, Dean Sewell, Constant Spring legend, part of the 1990. He don't call himself a legend, you know.
No, he's a player, man.
In Constant, you can't go Constant Spring and not hear about Chippy, Dean, and Lincoln Tough. I mean, and Fabian. Those, well, then you have what called Marvin Chin and Trevor Lamb. That is like those are the 5 names.
We have only legend in it. Start with Danny and Uncle Evelyn.
Yeah, well, yeah, Danny Lane. Yeah, there you go.
They said start the two pioneers of the football at Constant Spring.
There you go. That is true. You have got to the lane. In the same year, yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of heart wrenching for the Constant Spring Club.
Spring fun.
We have
to
pick up the pieces and kind of carry on the legacy.
Yeah, and that is what is happening.
Yeah, and then you talk about Roman Christian.
Yeah. Jordan.
Blocking, balling, all of them guys. You know, Constant Spring have whole heap of players.
Yeah.
That stands really firm in the heart of the spring. And you can't call Constant Spring and call Lincoln Tough.
There you go, people. So listen, here's the thing now. Watch this now. So again, want to thank you for joining. Thank you, Mr. Dean Sewell, for your time. Some call him Two-Face, some call him Viceroy, some call him One Blocks, all of those names, wherever you know him from. We want to thank you for your time. And I mean, I hope somewhere down the future, you know, an opportunity will open up where you can be a part of Jamaica football development and growth. This is a great time. And I mean, I used to watch a lot of you. I mean, I used to be there, see you guys in training when I was in the junior team. And I mean, I learned a lot. A lot of people used to say that I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. But, you know, but I saw that, and many people right across Jamaica still believe you're one of the best right backs, if not the best right back that has ever passed through the country. They can't understand why you weren't starting in the national team, even in the World Cup. But that is it. Yeah, man.
If you ask me, it's me and 11, any 10 players.
There you go. And if you see him now, you would not know that he retired from international football because he's over there playing football still and coaching. And so thanks to everyone for tuning in. Listen, please, you have to subscribe to the channel. That is how we do this. Remember, we're having a major push because we're saying a lot of these guys, the sacrifices that they made to get us to 1998, it's not appreciated. Footballers in general in Jamaica, no enough appreciation is not shown. We should by now at least have 10 roads in Jamaica named after footballers. We have named after cricketers, after politicians, after musicians, and in one time in 89 years, Jamaica, once we have qualified for the World Cup, and we don't even have 5 of these players with anything in Jamaica named after them. You understand me? Even Lindy De La Pena, we go back, we go Alan Skillcoat. Listen, we need to show respect to the past footballers because they set the standard and paved And this is our push. This is why we're interviewing these past players. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to have on Roderick Reed. On Friday, we're going to have on Lenny Hyde. And we're going to keep talking to them. So some of us as a younger generation can listen and learn. You understand me? And don't be trapped, like I said, in this time zone, like Dean says. We're just trapped in a particular time zone and you can only see things in that time zone. You need to look back, look now, and look ahead if you want to progress and grow in anything. So Dean, I'll ask you to close off and then we big up our sponsors and end the show.
Thanks for having me, and I hope I was have some light to what's out there ahead of us. And younger players, do your work. We have better equipment, better facilities, better everything, so the players should be better. As the national team, be respectful of each other, play for each other, play as a team. Because remember, you can't do it alone. To the coach, try motivate your team. Be a little bit more involved in the game. To the federation, do a better job, man. Stop making so much administrative mistake, man. If you can't handle the job, leave it alone. And that goes for everybody. If you're not committed to the cause, leave the cause alone. Because you're playing and you're representing millions of people on the outside. Some people who don't even know. Some people who never even will ever see or touch. And it means a whole lot to the fan base. And to the fan base, all the players them accountable, all the coaches accountable, and all the federation accountable. That's the only way we can do it. And to the past players, if we see a player who can say something to him, whether I'm going to accept it, yes or no, impart some of the knowledge and some of the basic stuff we want to say within your own eyes. You understand? Don't just sit by and ridicule, or sit by and compare, or sit by. You understand what I'm saying? So, each one teaches one, each one helps someone. You understand? And it's for the greater good of the country and all of that. So, that's my belief. You understand? So, it can be done. We were way out. We look like we have an eye in. So, maybe we try open the eye a little bit more and see if we can maximize with the games them coming forward. We need 17 points in my estimation to have a chance at the third slot, if not the playoff spot. We have to get it some way, somehow. Because teams are going to beat other teams and teams are going to pick points off other teams. So we have one job to do and we control that. So make we do a job now. Low, listen to my brother. Stop playing with the football at the back. You see the pass, make it. Flemings, play for the team. Not for yourself. That's how my eye tell me. Give me instruction, my apologies if somebody case. You understand? All of the players, them just doing a job, man. Just doing a job. One job enough, just do it.
All right. There you have it, people. So listen, I want to say a big thank you also to our sponsors. Sponsor for this video, Trick Nick Cooks, right? Visit them at www.tricknick.ca. Anything you want to jerk, they sell everything. Jerk marinade, jerk sauce, jerk spice. They sell curry paste, all of those things. If you want to jerk chicken, pork, fish, cow, goat, what again you can jerk? Alligator. Anything you want jerk, you just check them. They have everything. If you want jerk hot dog, sausage, anything you want jerk your vegetables, they have it. And if you use this code, I am sure sports 001, you get 25% discount on all their products. So check them out, people. Give them some support. Again, thanks to Jay Taylor for joining the stream as well. And to all our subscribers, thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, people. Hit the subscribe button and let us continue to spread the love. Here's a word from our sponsor, Strict Nick.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Strict Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yeah, so hit the subscribe button before you go, people. Hit the like button, share the video. Be safe, enjoy the rest of your day. I am Man's Man, and this is I Am Sure Sports. Yeah.
18 Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce. Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.